the road here. It makes the cars very nervous, easy to make a mistake, and then into corner 8, one of the trickiest corners on the track because it's the only one with a wall, Jeremy.
So there is Sébastien Bourdais. He will lead them around to the starting grid, and once again he has been the man this weekend. The 27th pole of his career. He won from the pole here, of course, in 2003. Alongside him, Simon Pagenaud, the protege of Sébastien Bourdais. That's an exciting contest. Will Power, his 4th top 3 start in 5 races this year. Graham Rahal, his best qualifying position so far.
Inside of the 3rd row, Robert DOORNBOS looking for his 4th podium in just 5 starts, and Dan Clark kind of back on form, his teammate alongside him. Paul Tracy not that happy in qualifying, starting 7th, but a little bit happier this morning in warm-up, and Justin Wilson will be outside of the 4th row for the RSPORTS team.
Alex Tagliani in the 2nd RSPORTS car, and ORIOL SERVIA on row 5. Neil JANI was 5th quickest on Friday, slipped back to row 6 alongside his PKB teammate. Back on row 7 is Alex Figure. Good effort by him, and Bruno JUNQUEIRA, the first of the KOYNE cars.
KATHERINE, LEGGE, Bruno's teammate, right behind him, and Ryan Dial struggling a little bit this weekend, looking to come back on form.
So it'll be Jan Halen who will start at the back of the grid. He was actually a little bit quicker than that, but he lost his best lap because he spun off and caused a red flag in qualifying. So look at some of the onboard footage we'll be showing you this afternoon. All sorts of exciting action. I think Justin Wilson is only qualified on the 4th row of the grid in the CCWS car for the RSPORT team. He's going to bring us some great onboard footage, I am sure, and he is looking forward to this standing start. The 2nd standing start, of course, in the Champ Car World Series. A very successful debut for this new procedure 2 weeks ago in Portland. Graham Rahal, his father, won the first ever race here in Cleveland back in 1982. He will bring us the onboard footage as well as Will Power. Will Power, he won the opening round of the season in Las Vegas for Team Australia, and for the 4th time in 5 races will start among the top 3 on the grid. The pressure is building here. There will be a 15-second board once the last car gets into place on the grid, and then the light sequence will begin. The lights will go on in sequence, then they will go out, and the race will be underway. Sébastien Bourdais on the pole position. There is Dan Clark. He made a storming start at Portland. Here we are, the revs are rising. We're getting ready for the start. Great stuff, another clean getaway at least. Can they all make it through the first corner? Yes, they can. Fantastic. We've seen all sorts of incidents there in the past, James, but that was a good clean start and a good clean first corner. Can they make it through turn 3?
That was one of the best first corners I've ever seen in the history of Cleveland. Now they're racing down through turns 3 and 4, too wide. Very wide racetrack here, makes for good racing as they're all jockeying for position here on the first lap.
It's Sébastien Bourdais who leads the race for Newman Haas Landing Racing. They scored their 100th victory last time out in Portland. Bourdais is on a sequence of 3 in a row. Just remarkable, this man, how much success he's had in the Champ Car World Series. And another brilliant start by him, and he's already beginning to pull a bit of an advantage over Pagenaud and Power in the 2 Team Australia cars. It's been a great first lap by the Frenchman.
He's absolutely blistering. He's not wasting any time on the red sidewall Bridgestone tires. Those are a little bit softer compound than the black.
He made a mistake there, James. He carried a bit too much speed into that corner, didn't he?
It did look like he clipped the 2nd apex there in that chicane. It's a very, very tricky corner, that one, because there's not a lot of grip, but it's oh so fast. Very easy to make a mistake as Justin Wilson dives down the inside of Dan Clark, and it looks like Dan's teammate Robert DOORNBOS is right behind him.
Alex Tagliani in there as well, and it was Robert DOORNBOS who looked like he made a great start once again from 5th row on the grid, from the 5th position on the grid into that first corner. He was diving inside and then outside, but he got through cleanly. He's in 4th place now, though. He got himself ahead of Graham Rahal, the other rookie there. So we got the veteran Sébastien Bourdais. He's just stunning in this series as we watch Justin Wilson come through in 8th place. Will Power got ahead of Simon Pagenaud at that first corner. They are in 2nd and 3rd, so Pagenaud still the first of the rookies in 3rd. Then DOORNBOS, Rahal, Paul Tracy's got himself up into the top 6. Then Dan Clark and this man Justin Wilson.
Justin now on a bit of a charge. He's not happy with his qualifying position as we look at replay of the start. A little bit of tire smoke.
DOORNBOS on the inside to the left there. He pulls out to the left. It's very slippery out there. There's been no running there. And now you'll see him dive to the outside. Here he comes. Here's that first corner. 2 Team Australia cars absolutely side by side. But it was Will Power that got a better run off that corner and onto the back straight. Another angle.
Yeah, so the key for Will here was he was just able to carry a little bit more momentum than Simon around the outside of that corner. And that just gave him a better run heading down the long straight here in turn 3, but very, very impressive. Look at him battling the oversteer, keeping the wheel spin in check. Great start. It must be such a challenge getting the wheels going here on 750 horsepower Champ car. Standing starts, just look at that.
So cold tires there. You can see him just struggling for grip on the entrance to the corner, but he got the power down really well. Heads up driving by both those Team Australia cars. Here's Graham Rahal's view.
Would have been really easy for Graham to just overshoot a little bit on cold tires. Oh, you see he missed a gear there. He actually had to go down an extra gear on the exit of the corner. You can see the car in front of him, Robert Doornbos, on the push to pass, trying to make it by PAGENAUD. Was not able to do that. But now Graham Rahal's looking to fight back. He's got a great run out of the last chicane. You can't block in Champ car. That will absolutely be deemed a block. If he is not penalized for that, despite the fact that Graham Rahal got by him, I will be shocked and appalled, to be honest.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, certainly if he hadn't got past, now if he gets the move back here, it looks like he's on the inside again for turn 3. Here's Robert Doornbos. There's side by side into 3. You can make it side by side through there, but it's awfully dodgy because, yes, oh no! That's Paul Tracy's got together with Graham Rahal.
Absolutely tragic, and you know what? That never should have happened because Robert shouldn't have been anywhere near him. But now we saw Paul lost his front wing. It looks like we're going to go full course caution here, bringing out the first one of the day. Tragic for Graham Rahal. Hopefully that car's still okay. Yeah, indeed. It was a big spin there, and he certainly got collected by PT. PT, absolutely nothing he could do about it. It certainly wasn't his fault. He was very much the innocent victim, but really so is Graham Rahal, because as you say, Robert Doornbos should not have been in that position. He was clearly blocking Rahal down to that first corner. Rahal should have been able to make that pass, and then he would have been long gone. Here's a replay as they go side by side into the corner, and then Graham is completely offline. PT gets alongside him there. I still don't think it was really PT's fault. He was certainly pushing the issue, though, I have to say. Yeah, that was it was tough. I mean, this, of course, the pass Graham Rahal made on Doornbos into corner 1. And then
he was pretty much compromised on the exit there, wasn't he?
He absolutely was. Robert should not have had anywhere near a good run if he was on the racing line he should have been on. And you can go side by side through 3. This was a good battle. Robert, he was very aggressive, did not give Graham much room at all. And then Graham just kind of got turned around there. Was able to, he looks like he stalled the engine, was able to just get it back fired.
That was lucky, wasn't it?
Very lucky. You know what? I do blame Paul. Paul made a mistake. He got in there a little bit too hot. You know, obviously, Graham's entry to that corner was compromised. Paul should have known his exit was going to be a bit slower, and he just got in a bit too eager there, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just trying and go a little bit too hard to take advantage of that situation was Paul Tracy, and PT certainly appears to have come off the worst out of it. Here he is into the pit lane. He's got a new nose cone on that car. He lost the nose in that contact with Graham Rahal. He's made a pit stop, has PT, and he's at the back of the field along with Alex Figge, who's also apparently still in the pit lane as well. So I don't know what happened to Figge in the first of the Pacific Coast Motorsports cars, and it's such a big disappointment for Graham Rahal. He lives in New Albany, Ohio, just less than 100 miles away from here. As we said earlier on, his father Bobby won the first ever race here in Cleveland back in 1982, and that was Bobby's first ever Champ car victory. Last year Graham Rahal won both of the Atlantic races, and he was looking good, wasn't he? He was super confident going to this race, his best qualifying position, and now he's been compromised, and he's right at the back of the pack, James.
Yeah, like you said, he had 2 dominating wins here in a doubleheader at at Cleveland last year, but we're getting 2 good pieces of information from race control, first of which is being Graham Rahal has reported back to the pit saying the car feels okay, no damage there, but more importantly, Robert Doornbos will be given a drive-through penalty for blocking, as we see Alex Figge, I believe, walking away from his PCM machine. That's got to be disappointing for him.
Oh boy, certainly has. He qualified well, did Alex. He did a good job in qualifying. He was right in the thick of the action there. He qualified in 13th place, which is his career best in this series, and he was within 2 or 3 tenths of 4 or 5 other drivers as well. So he did a good job, did Alex Figge. That's a major disappointment for that team. But you called it that Robert Doornbos was clearly out of line under braking for turn 1. I'm sure it's just the old European mentality. I mean, he's used to doing whatever it takes to keep someone behind him, and that's not the way it works in Champ car. And we talked about it many times in the past. I initially was very skeptical about this no moving. You're not allowed to move off the racing line. You're not allowed to deviate from your usual racing line in order to defend your position. That's clearly what he did on that occasion, and he's getting called for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you say, it's a bit of a habit coming from a European background, but he's had 4 races already to get that sorted. I'm surprised to see this late in the season a mistake like that. But under caution, green next time by here in Cleveland. Sébastien Bourdais leads.
So still under caution here at the Burke Lakefront Airport, the Grand Prix of Cleveland, and we're getting ready to go back to green. Paul Tracy has been on with, he might even come into, I think he stopped last time around just to top off with fuel. So look at the race analysis, a 1 hour 45-minute race. We're expecting a little bit over 100 laps, depending on how many cautions there are. Fuel range about 29 laps between pit stops. They can just about make it a 3 pit stop race, but it is close.
From this angle, I think he was trying to get by Rahal, obviously knocked off the front wing, so we've replaced that. We're at the back of the field. Long day, so we'll see what we can make of it.
And he also says that the car seems to be okay, should not be a problem.
That was the Vice President of Operations for Forsythe Championship Racing, Neil Mickelrad, explaining the situation to Bill Stevens in the pit lane about Paul Tracy, but there is the green flag is out once more, and again a fantastic restart from Sebastien Bourdais, James.
He's absolutely not new at this, as Simone Pagenaud is kind of getting racy, looking down the inside of Will Power, and as we see, there's a move going there. It looks
Tagliani.
like Tagliani going by Dan Clarke, is it?
I think so. Certainly those two battling for position. Yes, 4th, 6th and 7th was Tagliani moving to the inside. Oh no, there's Bruno Junqueira in one of the Dale Coyne racing cars. He started off the season so well for Dale Coyne Racing, but now he's lost the power, he's stalled the engine, and what a shame for Bruno. He struggled this weekend, both of the Dale Coyne Racing cars, he and KATHERINE Legge. They qualified only 14th and 15th, less than a 10th of a second behind him. Let's have a look, see what happened here. Somebody did PT, I think, diving to the inside, and then he gets hit from behind by
PT. That was PT. Was it? PT was the one who hit him, so just all over again, and yeah, that'll obviously bring out another full course caution. There's a second wing in as many laps for Paul Tracy. Well done, mate, well done. They, Paul Tracy might run out of noses if he keeps this pace up.
That was unnecessary, wasn't it? And PT, all of his experience, he's getting very, very frustrated right now. Of course, he had that injury suffered at Long Beach, the second race of the season. He crashed in practice, a heavy front-end impact into the wall, and there was a compression fracture of his lower back, had to sit out the next 3 races. He came back at Portland, crashed on his out lap on Friday morning, and it's going downhill from there. Bill Stevens is in the pit lane now for this to see what happens when Paul comes in for this latest disastrous start to the race.
Oh boy, they're really thrashing down here, Rick Benjamin, as Paul Tracy comes in once again. They thought the car was fine. They didn't anticipate there'd be another problem, and yet they've now discovered that they need to do more repair work on the car. They are also putting on a fresh set of Bridgestone Potenza, staying with the primary tires, and they just topped off the fuel. But as you can see, this pit stop is costing them a little bit of time as they fit that piece back onto the front of the car.
Yeah, he'd actually moved back up into the 10th or 12th place before this caution period, because a bunch of other people stopped to top off with fuel during that first caution period of the day. There is Bruno Junqueira finally being restarted, we hope, by the whole Metro safety crew, but Bruno has already lost a lap, and what a disappointing start to the race for poor old Bruno. He was absolutely the innocent victim there. He'd already turned well into the corners, really at the apex of the corner, and PT just came barreling in from behind and sent him for a spin.
And there he goes out of pit lane now with his second new wing of the race. Not a great start to race for either of these guys, and like you say, this is really unfortunate for Bruno. He was hoping to qualify a little bit better, but 14th for Dale Coyne Racing entry is not bad at all, and it's a long race here at Cleveland, so it's going to be that much longer for Bruno now. As you say, Jeremy, the Metro safety crew trying to get that car restarted. They seem to be having a bit of a problem getting the rope tied around the roll bar there, so they'll just go give him a bump start as PT there catches up to the tail end of the field. Yeah,
Paul Tracy, he's got 30 wins in his career, but it's been a long time since he scored his last race. The last win actually was here in 2005, so 2 years and 23 races since Paul Tracy last made it to Victory Circle. So it's another disappointing start to the day for him there. Finally, Bruno Junqueira is underway, but he is a lap down. But
it didn't look like he was moving at full pace, actually, Jay. It looked like he may have been pulling off again.
Really, I hope not. He's certainly been such a disappointing weekend because, as I said, he started off the season so well. It was Graham Rahal coming in to make a pit stop, and we talked about earlier on, it's very, very tight in order to make it to the end of this race on just 3 pit stops, and down to Cameron Steele.
They're just going to work with the strategy since they're on the back of the pack. They're going to come in and top off and hope it pays off a little bit later. I want to note one thing for you guys, pretty interesting here. Tim Hornborg, who is known as Dog on the team, he's the right rear tire changer. He was at Graham's christening when he was a baby, and he's part of his crew here today.
Yeah, good old Dog there. He's a great guy. He does the tires, looks after all the tire supplies and changes the right rear wheel on the car in the races, and Dog's been around racing for an awful long time, and with this Newman Haas racing team for an awful long time as well. Mike Lanigan, of course, joining in with Paul Newman and Carl Haas this year. And Mike Lanigan also is a promoter of this event here in Cleveland. I have to say, he's done a fabulous job, because it's been a real carnival atmosphere.